You are now listening to the Pure Gold Business Podcast, the show built for business owners who are serious about doing the work, the real work, of building something that lasts. Every week, we bring you straight talk on the systems, the strategy, and the mindset shifts that separate businesses that struggle from businesses that scale. I'm your host, Angelo Cottingham, founder of Pure Gold Business Solutions. And whether we're going deep on a concept, sitting down with a fellow business owner, or working through your challenges live on air, one thing stays the same. You're going to leave this show with something you can use. So grab a pen, grab a notepad, and get ready for today's show. Episode 7. Welcome back to the Pure Gold Business Podcast. Once again, I'm Angelo Cottingham, business coach, consultant, and founder of Pure Gold Business Solutions. If you're new here, welcome. You picked the right episode to start with. And if you've been rocking with us since episode 1, you already know what we're building here. And we've been doing it week by week. And I want you to know, I see that you guys are doing this with me, and I appreciate that so much. Now let's get right into it. Over the last 6 episodes, we've been building. Episode 1, we set the foundation. Episode 2, we went into the operations pillar. Episode 3, we talked about what it looks like when a business actually can run itself. Episode 4, we went into marketing, specifically how attention is money, how to earn it, and how to keep it. Episode 5, sales, the follow-up, the pipeline, the close, where the money actually lives. And then episode 6, where I stepped back from the framework and I told you the story behind it, the man behind the method, where I came from, and why I built this. We're 7 episodes in now, 7 weeks of really just straight shooting about this whole thing. Today, we're going to zoom out a little bit, because today I'm going to give you the full map, not just one pillar, not just one system, the whole thing, laid out, explained, connected. So you see exactly where the business stands and exactly what it's going to take to get where you want to go. This is the business systems map episode. So let's get into it. So as I usually do, I will start with a question. How many of you right now, if I asked you to draw me a picture of how your business works, could you actually do it? Not a pitch deck, not a visual board, and not even an elevator pitch. I mean a real picture. Here's how a lead finds me. Here's what happens next. Here's where they go after that. Here's how I deliver. Here's how I keep them. Could you draw that? Most business owners actually can't, and that's not a character flaw, nor is it laziness. That is not a lack of intelligence either. That is the natural result of building a business the way most of us do, in reaction mode. You get a client, you figure out how to serve them. You lose a client, you figure out how to get another one. You hire someone, you figure out what they should do. You hit a slow month, you panic and throw money at ads. React, 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 react. And the result is a business that runs you instead of a business that runs without you. I've been in rooms with business owners doing $500,000 a year who still can't take a week off. They're grinding every day. They're exhausted. They're making money, but they're not free. And when I ask them, where's your system? They look at me like I'm speaking a different language, because nobody taught them this. Nobody sat down and said, better you make another dollar, you let me show you how a business actually works. Let me show you the map. Before you make another dollar, let me show you how a business actually works. Let me show you the map. I find myself saying that over and over again like a broken record. So I'm just going to show you today, because here's the truth. Every business in the world, no matter the size, the industry, the model, runs on the same underlying skeleton, the same bones, the same sequence, the same flow. The businesses that scale, the ones that grow without killing the owner, they figured out that skeleton. They built around it. They documented it and they systemized it. The ones that stay stuck, they're still running on instinct, wondering why nothing holds. Here's the difference between a business and a job that you own. A job you own, you show up, Things happen, you leave, and things stop. A business, it has documented systems, clear roles, predictable outcomes, and it produces results whether you're in the room or not. That's the goal. That's what the pure gold growth system is built to create. The four pillars, the eight core systems, all culminate into the business system map. And today, for the first time on this show, we're going to walk it from front to back. Every piece, every connection, every handoff. So by the time this episode is over, you're going to be able to draw your map. Let's go. Before we get into the map itself, though, I need to make sure you're speaking the same language as me because the map lives inside a system and the structure has a name. It is the pure gold growth system and it's built on the four pillars. You got to think of these pillars as the four walls of your business. If one wall is weak, the whole structure is at risk. And if one is missing, nothing else is going to hold. So let me walk you through all four one more time, real fast. The first pillar is leadership. Now, when most people hear leadership, they think about personality, charisma, communication style, being a boss, yada yada yada. That's not what I'm talking about. In the pure gold system, leadership means two things: knowing your targets and having the KPIs tracked. Financial targets, you know what you're trying to make, not a vague number, not I want to make more money. An actual number, a monthly revenue target, a profit margin goal, a number that connects your business to your life because your business exists to fund your life. And if you don't know the number, you're just flying blind. KPI tracking simply means you have eyes on the metrics that actually matter: leads generated, proposals sent, close rate, average client value, revenue per month, client retention rate. Those are your instruments. This is your dashboard. Without them, you're guessing. Leadership is the pillar that keeps the whole business pointed in the right direction. Think of it like a compass. Without it, everything else is just random activity. The second pillar is operations. It shows you how to deliver. It's how you take a client who said yes and turn that yes into a result they can actually see, hear, feel, and touch. In the pure gold system, operations runs on two systems: the operational standardized fulfillment and sales management. Standardized fulfillment simply means your delivery process is documented. It's easy, repeatable, and scalable. Client A gets the same quality as client B. Your team can execute without you in every conversation because of this documented process. This is where most services this is where most service businesses break because they deliver on feel, on instinct, on whatever the client needs in the moment. And that works until it doesn't, until you hire someone and they can't replicate it, until you scale and quality drops, until you take a vacation and everything falls apart. Standardization is not about removing your touch. It's about making sure your touch can survive without you in the room. Sales management on the operations side means you're not managing the delivery of what was sold, not the selling itself. The actual execution, the calendar, the workflow, the handoff from sales to delivery. Make sure that was promised actually gets done. You got to make sure that what you promise your customers at all costs is what you actually get done. The third pillar is marketing. We went deep on this in episode 4, but here's the headline of it all. Marketing's job is to generate interest at scale, not to close deals, not to build relationships one by one, to create demand, to get your message in front of people who need to know about you and what you do. At a volume and consistency that feeds your pipeline too, by the way. Two systems inside the marketing pillar: organic marketing and paid lead generation. Now, organic marketing is your normal content, your LinkedIn, your podcast, your YouTube, your reputation in the rooms you're already in, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You name whatever future social media platform that's going to be out there that every business owner ever is going to jump on to try and leverage. It's slower, but it compounds. It builds trust before the first conversation you ever have with a prospect. Paid lead generation is your fuel injection. When your organic is working, paid pours gas on it. It amplifies what's already converting. It does not fix a broken offer. It does not replace an absent strategy. Marketing fills the top of your system. Without it, everything downstream just starves. And lastly, sales. And I want to say this clearly because a lot of business owners are allergic to this word. Sales is not manipulation. Sales is not pressure. Sales is not a personality you're born with or you're not. Sales is nothing more than a system like everything else. It is the process by which you turn interest into investment, by which you take someone who said, "Tell me more," and help them say, "Yes, let's do it." Two systems inside of the sales pillar: lead management and sales acquisition. Lead management is how you track, nurture, and organize every person in your pipeline. Who are they? Where did they come from? Where are they in the decision process? When was your last touch with them? And what's the next move? If you don't have lead management, your pipeline is just a list of names you forgot to call and follow up with. Sales acquisition is the conversation you have with these leads itself. The strategy session in my case, or, a free consultation, a free sample, a coupon, whatever it was that you used to acquire this person through your lead system, and how you immediately follow it up to pitch your offer to them. The scale was presenting what you do in a way that makes the right person say yes and makes the wrong person self-select out. 4 pillars, 8 systems. Now, here's where it gets real, because all 4 of these pillars, they do not work in isolation. They work together. They feed each other. They connect in a sequence, and that sequence is the business systems map. The business system map is the operating flow of your entire business. From the moment someone discovers you to the moment they've been with you long enough to renew, 7 stages, 7 handoffs, 7 places where most businesses either advance the relationship or they lose it. So let me walk you through every single one. Stage 1 is the lead source. This is where your business becomes visible. This is the first thing someone sees, reads, hears, or experiences that puts you on their radar. Your lead source are your content and your outreach. Content, what you post, publish, record, write, is the inbound engine. It's this podcast. It's the LinkedIn post that shows up in everyone's feed at 6 in the morning when they're sitting at their desk already frustrated. It's the YouTube video that answers the exact question you've been carrying for 3 months. Outreach, direct messages, networking, referrals. That's the outbound engine. It's you deliberately going to find the people who need what you do, not spamming, not cold pitching, showing up in the right rooms, starting real conversations, and letting what you know do the talking. Here's the question you need to answer about your lead source: where is your ideal client before they find you? What are they reading? What platforms are they on? Who are they listening to? What problems are they Googling? You need to be there consistently with something worth stopping for. If your lead source is inconsistent, your pipeline will be inconsistent. There's no exceptions. The feast and famine cycle that kills so many small businesses, it starts here at stage 1, at the lead source. The fix is not more hustle. The fix is a content and outreach system that runs on a schedule, not on how inspired you felt this morning. So that's step 1. Step 2, the lead capture. Your lead source got their attention. Now what? The lead capture is how you take someone from a passive audience member to someone who can actually follow up with you. In the Pure Gold system, lead capture runs through 2 mechanisms: a playbook and a webinar. This is mine specifically. This is what you would do to attract leads. A playbook that's free, a high value resource that solves a specific problem for your specific ideal client. That is how I solve that. My playbook is just something where I'm in the fire right now. Give me something that can at least help me put the fire out. Something that hits them right where they are. Something that makes them think, who made this? I need to talk to them. In exchange for that lead magnet, they give you their name and their email, and now you have them. Now you have a direct line. A webinar does the same thing, but at a deeper level, because they don't just see your content, they experience the message behind the content, your voice, your energy, your framework. For 45 minutes or even an hour, you're in a room with them virtually, and by the end, they either trust you or they don't. Most mechanisms do the same things. They convert traffic into contacts. Here's the mistake I see constantly, though. Business owners spending all their time on content, getting views, getting likes, getting followers, but with no capture mechanism in place. So when someone is ready to take the next step, there's no next step to take. The door is open, but there's nothing inside. Your lead capture is the door. Make it inviting. Make the exchange obvious. Make the value undeniable. And then once they're in, you move to stage 3, which is the follow-up. This is where most businesses leave money on the table, not because they don't care or because their offer's weak, because they don't have a system for what happens after someone raises their hand and says, I'm interested. Follow up in the Pure Gold system runs on email sequences, but you can also use things like SMS messaging. You can use DMs. You can use actual emails, whatever it takes to get your prospects' attention. Because here's the reality of how people buy. Someone will download your playbook, your lead magnet, your webinar. They skim it. They think this is solid. They save the email, and then life happens. They get pulled into a meeting. A client calls. Their kid needs something, and they forgot about you. Not because you weren't good enough, because attention is in short supply, and you have to compete for it, even after you've already earned it. A follow-up email sequence is how you stay present without being annoying, without chasing, without making 10 calls that just go to voicemail and make you feel and look desperate. The sequence delivers value. It continues the conversation. It reinforces why you are the person they should work with, and it shows up in their inbox at the moment they're finally ready to act. The follow up is not a pitch. Let's get that clear. The follow up is not a pitch, it is just relationship building. It's proof that you're there, still thinking about them, and you are still able and willing to help them. And when that moment comes, when they're finally ready, you need to be the name that comes to mind. That's what a well-built follow-up sequence does. It keeps you top of mind without you having to work for it manually every single time. This is automation working for you. This is the system running while you deliver for another client, while you're recording a podcast, or while you're sleeping. Now, stage 4 is the pitch itself. This is where the relationship becomes a business conversation. In the Pure Gold system, the pitch lives inside what I call the strategy session. The strategy session is not a sales call by design, and I need you to hear me on this one. It's a diagnostic. You come in asking questions. Where is your business right now? Where do they want to be? What's standing in the way? What have they already tried? What does success actually look like for them? Not by your eyes, their eyes. You listen. You really listen. I might even go as far to say as you shut the F up about it. Not waiting for your turn to talk. Not scanning for the objections you're going to handle. Actually understand their situation. It's easier to sell to them because you actually know what they need, and you can also show them in all honesty if that's not something they are a fit for. You can tell them that and not waste your time or theirs. Now, based on what you heard, you show them the gap at that point. Current state, desired state, the gap between them and you as the bridge. The offer only lands when the gap is crystal clear, when the person on the other side of the table can see for themselves what's costing them to stay where they are. You can't rush to the offer. You can't skip the diagnosis. If you do, you're pitching. And people can smell a pitch from a mile away. The strategy session is a service. It should be valuable on its own, even if they don't buy anything from me. When you operate that way, when your offer is the natural next step in a conversation about their problem, the close stops feeling like selling. It starts feeling like you're helping. And that changes everything for those who are afraid of getting into sales, by the way. So stage 5 is onboarding. They said yes, the contract is signed, the payment was in. Now what? This is where most businesses, even good ones, drop the ball a lot because they put everything into getting the yes and they have no system for what comes after it. The client signs and then silence, or scrambling, or just some generic welcome email that doesn't tell them anything. And that silence is where doubt lives, where buyer's remorse starts, where the client who was excited starts quietly wondering if they made the right call. In my world, onboarding is done in the pure gold audit and kickoff. The audit is the deep dive. It's where I get into the real state of their business. Not what they told me in the sales call, not what they think their problem is, what's actually happening. The numbers, the processes, the team, the gaps. The kickoff is the launch call. It's where we set the tone. Here's how we're going to work together. Here's what the next 30, 60, 90 days look like. Here's what I need from you. Here's what you can expect from me. A great onboarding does two things. One, it immediately confirms the client's decision. They feel the professionalism. They see the structure. The doubt will disappear and excitement takes its place. Two, it sets you up to deliver because now you know exactly what you're dealing with. No surprises. No halfway through the engagement realizing the problem is bigger than what was described. Onboarding is the bridge between sold and served. Build that right. Now let's get into delivery. This is where you earn your reputation. Everything else, the content, the funnel, the sales, the onboarding, it's all a promise. Delivering where the promise either gets kept or it doesn't. In the Pure Gold system, delivery is built around 12 weekly calls. That's the container. Every week, we're in the work, reviewing, implementing, solving the problems that come up, building the systems that didn't exist, and adjusting what isn't working. But every delivery is more than just showing up. It's showing up with a structure. That's the most that's the part most consultants and others in other service industries miss a lot. They're smart. They know their stuff, but every call is improvised. Every session is reactive. They're solving whatever fire is hottest that week without ever building the foundation that prevents the fire from starting in the first place. Standardized delivery means the client knows what to expect every week. The work follows a sequence, not a mood. Progress is tracked, results are measured, and by week 12, the client can see in concrete terms what is different. That's what creates referrals. That's what creates renewals. That's what creates case studies. You don't have to be the best in the world. You have to deliver consistently every time without it depending on what kind of mood you're in that day. That's the difference between a talent and a system. Talent can vary, but systems don't. Now let's talk about retention, the most overlooked stage in any business. Every business owner I've ever worked with is focused on one thing, getting new clients. And I understand why. New clients mean new revenue. New clients mean growth. New clients means you're working. But here's the math most business owners don't think about. It costs 5 to 7 times more to acquire a new client than it costs to keep an existing one. The clients you already have, they trust you. They've seen what you can do. They don't need to be sold. They just need a reason to stay. Retention in the Pure Gold system runs on two tracks, renewal and community. Renewal means before the engagement ends, you're already in the conversation about what comes next. Not a hard sell, not pressure, a natural conversation about where they are, what they've built, and where the next level of growth takes them. The client who just built their lead system, They're ready to scale their sales system. The client who just standardized delivery, they're ready to build the team that runs it. There's always a next step. Your job is to be the person who helps them take it. Community is the longer play. It's the ecosystem that keeps people connected, not just to you, but to each other. Business owners helping other business owners, win shared, problem solved. A room where showing up feels worth it, even between engagements. That's how you build a client base, not a client list. Now that you have the 7 stages, let me show you how to use them. Because the business system map is not just a diagram, but a diagnostic. Every problem in your business, and I mean every single last one of your problems in your business, lives inside one of these 7 stages. I want to say this one more freaking time. Every problem in your business, every single one, lives inside one of these 7 stages. So when something isn't working, the first thing I do is find the stage. Let me give you some examples. If you're struggling to get clients, you've been at the same revenue number for the last 18 months, nothing's moved. Most business owners say, I need better marketing. Maybe. But let me ask you something first. Do you have a consistent content strategy? Are you posting regularly? Are you showing up where your ideal client is? If no, you have a stage 1 problem. Lead source. The pipeline is empty because the top of the funnel is empty. But if yes, if you're posting, if you're getting engagement, if people are telling you your content is great, but you're still not getting inquiries, then it might be stage 2, lead capture. The traffic is there, but there's no mechanism to collect it. No lead magnet, no opt-in, no next step. People are watching and then they're leaving. Or you're getting leads, people are opting in, booking calls, but they're not converting. That's either stage 3 or stage 4. Is your follow up system weak? Are you going weeks between touches and losing people to competitors who stay in the room longer? That's stage 3. Or are you getting to the conversation, but the close isn't happening? The strategy session or session itself feels awkward. You're pitching instead of diagnosing. That's definitely stage 4. And so on all the way through. Revenue is dropping, but you're getting clients not returning, referrals drying up. That's stage 6 or 7, delivery or retention. The back end of your business is leaking. That's why I call it a map, because when you're lost, a map tells you where you are. And once you know where you are, you know where to go. Right now, I want you to do something. Take a pen, take your phone, take whatever you have. Write down the 7 stages. Stage 1, lead source. Stage 2, lead capture. Stage 3, follow up. Stage 4, pitch. Stage 5, onboarding. Stage 6, delivery. And stage 7, retention. And next to each one, give yourself a grade. A, it's documented, it's working, it runs without me. B, it works, but it depends on me personally. C, it's inconsistent. Sometimes it works. Or F, it doesn't exist. I'm just winging it. Be honest. This is not a test I'm going to see. This is a diagnostic for you. Because wherever you gave yourself a C or an F, that is where your business is bleeding. That is where your growth is being capped. And more importantly, that is where your next move is. So before we close, I want to make one more thing clear, because I've given you 2 things today: the 4 pillars and the 7 stages of the business system map. And I want you to see how they connect. The pillars are the what your business needs to function, what areas have to be strong. The map is the flow, how value flows through your business, how a stranger becomes a client, how a client becomes a long-term relationship. Marketing governs stage 1 and 2, lead source, lead capture. That's your marketing engine. Sales governs stage 3 and 4. Follow-up, pitch. That's your sales engine. Operations governs stages 5, 6, and 7. Onboarding, delivery, and retention, because that is your operations engine. And leadership governs all of it, because without the numbers, without the KPIs, you don't know which engine is underperforming, and you don't know where the leak is. You're going to be flying blind, and I just want you to know that. This is why you can't fix a sales problem with more marketing. You can't fix an operations problem with a new funnel. You have to find the right stage in the right pillar and build the right system. This is what we do at Pure Gold. We don't guess. We diagnose and then we build. Now I have to tell you something. Everything I just walked you through, the 4 pillars, the 8 systems, the 7 stages, that was the map from the outside, the overview, the 30,000-foot view. But the real work is the real application, sitting down and running the diagnostic on your business, your specific situation, your specific gaps, your specific next move. And that's exactly what we're going to do live not this Saturday, I'm sorry. On Saturday, July 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am hosting the Pure Gold Business Workshop. It's on Zoom, it's live, it's me walking you through this framework, but this time we're applying it to you. We're running your diagnostic. We're finding your gaps. We're mapping your next move. And you get to be in the room with everybody else who's been rocking with this podcast. See the faces behind the downloads, the people who've been in this with you week by week. This is not a webinar where I pitch for 45 minutes and ask you to buy something at the end. This is a working session. You're going to leave with clarity, real clarity on where your business is and what comes next. The link is in the show notes. Saturday, July 11th, 11 a.m. Eastern. Be there. Come ready to work. So to bring it home, a map without a destination is just a picture. A destination without a map is just a wish. What I want for you, what this framework is built to give you, is both. You know where you want to go. Now you have the map to get there. 7 stages, 4 pillars, 8 systems, 1 business running the way it's supposed to run. Go to the diagnostic, grade every stage, find the gaps, and if you want help filling them, that's what July 11th is for. Subscribe wherever you're listening, leave a review if this helped you, share this episode with a business owner who's been wondering why the hustle isn't working. Show them the map. I'm Angelo Cottingham. This is the Pure Gold Business Podcast. We'll talk soon. Thank you.